The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. From the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. They'll start on the ground here on first down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 2nd and 9. Wilson, he'll go up top here for Hamler. That's caught at the 25. A huge play there for Denver. 46 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. After marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
On the ground. It's Jacobs to start the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Watson off play action. And that is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Watson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Nick Bonito able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's A.J. Cole now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some room to run now. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and
9. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Raiders 0.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Watson. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson, sliding out of the pocket. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
On the 6.
Incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Raiders have got it back to within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Shot here on the ground. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. They do give 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop it behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Steps away. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Watson. He's going to let it go again.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on second down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 77 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
To throw is Wilson. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill it for a loss.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And McManus missed it. How about that? No good. Wide to the left. And that will keep this a 3-point game.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. 1 second, all that remains.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room as we send you to Orlando to
check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Watson. His throw incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. To the air yet again, Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. From the gun, here's Watson. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Watson now to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 2nd and goal, Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense up to the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Laviska Shenault, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From the 10. Oh, good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same, and what they plan to do on offense.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I loved one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He's going to try and go deep again.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Raiders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. But that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing the football, trying to throw something like that and lead them into an area. That ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15.
98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Play action, it's Wilson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And the passing... there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Broncos 10.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Watson. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A big play there. 66 yards.
And the Raiders are looking as if they'll move it to 7-2 as they add on to this lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From the 6. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Forced out to his left. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy midfield.
They had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one. That hurts their chances right there.
Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
There's a reason the number 4 was flashing through my mind when he let that one go. 3 touchdowns already in his back pocket. The deep ball's been a great weapon for him in this one. Unfortunately, empty on that attempt.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. Long developing route there on the post corner, but it was worth the wait.
It certainly was. I love the way you described it because you do have to sell the post. Usually a couple of steps towards the middle of the field in order to get the defender to turn his hips, and then he breaks off towards the corner, and off he goes. Well executed.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Jacobs. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On 4th down, Watson. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Play action. Now Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. That's out to the flat for Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
They go with Jacobs. And some room to work.